Hello, my beautiful, powerful, everyday women of the world. Welcome, welcome to episode 99, you guys, on the Startup Stories podcast. Yes, if my guest next week shows up, we're going to hit 100 in 2025, 100 episodes in 3 years. Not bad. All right, so Startup Stories podcast, you guys. This is where the ambitious everyday woman, the regular woman, the one in a t-shirt in the morning, is heard, is held, and is served in her life and in her business. I'm your host, Miss Mia Frankel of Powerful Inc., the everyday woman's coach for living a peaceful and productive life. On my show, you'll hear relatable stories to keep you sane, grounded, and growing as you expand yourself and deliver your purpose to the world. These no fluff, very authentic conversations will normalize your journey and kick your butt into action because you can't just sit on your life and hope for it to happen. And today's guest, Dr. Neja Zupan, is going to rock you with her story. Her presence immediately slows the room, but not because she's quiet. It's because she's anchored into her identity. She's walked through fire and chosen herself on the other side. So today we're welcoming the dynamic Dr. Neja Zupan, a mentor in multidimensional leadership and radiant vitality. Mwah! I love that word combination. She's the founder of the Mastering Energy Academy. Neja's story is one of truth, responsibility, and action. You guys, at 43, which is the age I am now, Neja, I turned 44 in January, she was diagnosed with an aggressive hormone-dependent cancer and given a 5% chance of survival. Well, she beat those odds. She turned that story around, and she's sitting in front of us now, sitting on an empire of holistic health and well-being, and of choosing how to face something like that. What you guys don't know is that this type of cancer was very, very rare, and all the women who lived before her in her family line had died from that cancer. So Dr. Neja was facing statistics, history, and like a crushing weight of fear. But she made a decision to break the cycle. And I'm just covered in goosebumps, even just sharing the backstory. She said no to chemo. She said no to radiation. And she dove into her responsibility, her own healing journey, looking at her nervous system, looking at trauma excavation, and finding energetic recalibration. This healed her body, clearly, the radiant and vital, beautiful woman sitting with us today, and rebuilt her identity. And we're going to unpack that story and her journey and the business that arrived out of that through today's conversation. So, welcome, my beautiful, wise, and radiant guest, Dr. Neja Zupan.
Thank you, dear Mia, for this invitation, for all the words. Thank you also to the audience, your audience. I hope that I bring a ton of new perspectives and added value to your
Yeah,
audience.
absolutely. So, like, we just got in a nutshell the story of, the last few years of your life. You can state your age if you want, you don't have to. But where do you want to begin? Do you want to go with the type of life you were living and the type of woman you were being before the cancer diagnosis? What was going on for you at that, before and up to?
Yeah, great question. You know, this goes very good along with your mission,
Mm,
actually. I was born in like lower middle class family,
mhm,
and my father was working at the factory. My mother was in working in one bureau, but not very educated people, not having huge schools.
mhm,
and still living in this socialist country at that time.
Yeah.
So a lot of limitations that were put upon us.
Hmm.
And this actually shaped me quite a lot regarding money beliefs. They were really not supporting any idea of building own business.
Right.
Also, relationships were not quite supportive. My mother was born at the farm,
Hmm.
and in the Second World War, actually soon after
Yeah.
Second World War, but everything was still very influenced by Second World War. It
Hmm.
was lack of everything.
Hmm.
So in this growing up in this mentality of lacking everything, yeah, was quite a struggle. And because my mother and my father didn't know how to outgrow this,
Yeah.
um, yes, I was still like sometimes from time to time feeling that I'm still in the Second World War.
Right. Yeah. Put it on you. You
Yeah,
had to
yeah.
carry their burdens.
A
Yeah.
lot of anger, a lot of anxiety, a lot of fears, you know. This was my um, heritage.
Yeah.
A lot of worries whether we are going to survive or not. I started to work uh, already as when I was 8 years old to get for workbooks for the school, clothing for the school. That
Just
was, yeah,
basic things,
that was
right?
my
Yeah.
reality, you know.
Yeah.
And I was, as a child, faced also with many diseases. I had
Mm.
chronic allergies, and these were very tough because I was threatened. I was not aware, but
Yeah.
still, you know, when this wave of allergy came, I couldn't breathe. My entire skin was
Okay.
irritated
Yeah.
with huge patches, you know, and very like uh, itching
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Uncomfortable.
yeah, very
Yeah.
uncomfortable. Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes bleeding also from
Sure.
these wounds, you know, that's quite quite a
Yeah.
challenge for me.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a very good relationship with my mother at that time. Yeah, as I said, it was still an influence of the Second
Hmm.
World War.
Hmm.
So, but my mother got ill when I was 22,
Mm.
and she soon passed away
With
because
the
of
same
cancer.
cancer?
Yeah, of the cancer.
Yeah.
Actually, not the same one, you know.
Okay.
Uh, all my female ancestors passed away, each one from some different cancer. So
Okay.
I usually um, make jokes. You just name an organ, a structure in your body, and I will tell, yeah, this lady had cancer
Right.
on it. Yeah, this lady had on this. Yeah, this lady, but they had on this one.
Right.
So all over
Wow.
the body. So this already shows how our bodies were overwhelmed with everything
Yeah.
and not coped with life, with
Yeah.
challenges of life. It was my mother was very much very angry person, sad at the same time.
Right.
And I understand, you know, I needed to study myself and my ancestral lineage because of everything what happened. And my mother was sexually abused by
Mm.
her brother
Mm.
from age of 4 to 7. So I completely understand, you know,
Mhm.
where all this anger comes came from.
Yeah.
But still, I was influenced by this,
Yeah.
so I was also, I became, you become the same as
Hmm.
you are raised in. So I was
Hmm.
quite fearful, angry person with low self-esteem,
Right.
with low self-value,
Hmm.
self-sabotaging myself.
Sure. Limited beliefs,
Many,
lack. Yeah.
many, many,
Yeah.
many, many. You just name and
Yeah.
yes, this was it. Yes, this was it. But yes, I had one quite good my own characteristic. So no matter of what odds,
Okay.
I always moved on.
Okay.
I didn't want to stay in in the same place. Already as a young, like a teenager, I
Hmm.
developed this belief doing or repeating the same thing all over again and expecting different results
Hmm.
is the definition of insanity.
Hmm.
So I was always searching for different path, different expression, and this was my motivation actually to learn a lot.
Hmm.
And because I just didn't want to get these results
Yeah. Right.
all over and over and over and over again.
Right.
So at my age of 11, I didn't want to accept injections anymore.
Okay.
I got them because of these allergies.
Allergies.
And
Yeah.
then at age of 14, I stopped this was, um, nobody knew this. I
Hmm.
just didn't want to take any more pills because I figured out that when I take a pill for allergies, I'm like, oh, like
Right.
some drugged person. And
Right.
it was actually a drug.
Yeah.
So I stopped because I was unfocused in the school and my brain stopped to function. So it was something with me that I already started to observe what effects have certain things in my life.
Yeah.
And the age of 18, I stopped to take also sprays and like creams
Hmm.
and inhalations
Hmm.
and all of this. And I said, okay, medical doctors had time for 18 years to do
Right.
something, and it was every year worse.
Okay.
So I said that that's not the way.
Yeah.
And I went at age of 18, I really started to study many of different natural healing modalities from
Mm.
Ayurveda, traditional Chinese medicine, energy medicine, um, craniosacral
Right.
therapy, yoga,
Hmm.
um, different modalities in psychology like
Yeah.
neurolinguistic programming, nonviolent communication,
Yeah.
mindfulness, and so on, to start to understand myself.
Right.
And after 8 years of really profound work on myself, because I used everything what I learned, I
Hmm.
used, and
Yeah.
in 8 years I was free of allergies.
Well.
Can you imagine?
Well.
I said, yes.
18
Still,
years versus 8 with
yeah,
radically different approaches. And
yeah,
in that, a custom um, regime for you specifically,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. You suited my body, my structure, also my mindset. Actually, my mindset started to shift already at that time
Right.
because I started to study also neurolinguistic programming and
Hmm.
different shamanic approaches, and I really figured out that this mindset that I had is limiting myself in so many ways
Yeah.
that I was very keen to learn how to unlearn.
Right? Yeah.
That's the key. Learn how you unlearn.
Unlearn. Yeah.
Yeah, and learn then different things.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the age of 42,
Right.
yeah, came a challenge with a cancer.
Yeah.
Before that, already all my female ancestors passed away, all both my grandmothers, my aunts, my mother. So I was watching everything, what was going on with them. And when I was diagnosed, I said, no, no way.
Mm-hmm.
Repeating the same thing and
Mm-hmm.
expecting different results, it's not an option.
Right.
So, so I didn't know because I was given so little chances to survive.
Yeah.
I didn't know whether I will survive or not.
Okay.
But still, it was such a misery looking my ancestors passing away from cancer that I said, okay, no, I just don't want to go that same way. I don't know whether I will survive 1 week, one
Mm-hmm.
month, one
Mm-hmm.
year, 10 years, I don't know. What I exactly know, not the same way.
Uh-huh.
That was a crucial decision.
Yeah.
And actually, this decision, not just this decision, but this attitude,
Mm-hmm.
not repeating all things and expecting different results, also brought me to a different results in my business life.
Okay.
I was professor at the university,
Mm-hmm.
and I left university and started my own business.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, my business was quite successful because I already outgrew on myself
Right.
constipation, allergies, skin problems,
Mm-hmm.
problems with my digestion.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I had a lot of, oh my God, with my stomach. I couldn't eat, things, that was
Okay.
a huge problem. So many people turned up to me because they wanted solution
Yeah.
for their life. Um, but what I was in my business not aware very
Mm-hmm.
much at
Mm-hmm.
that time, that I was still like hustling,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
chasing the people
Yeah.
and pressuring myself what I
Yeah.
need to do and what not to do, and all these rules, and I was emotionally still quite vulnerable.
Mm.
And 1 year before I got diagnosed, I had in my own company
Yeah.
employee who was bullying me.
Right.
Can you imagine?
Right.
In my own business.
Yeah.
And me with really so low self-esteem, so
Mm-hmm.
low value
Mm-hmm.
of myself, you know, I didn't dare to
Right.
uh,
Say
to
something. Fire
yeah, no,
them.
no, not just to
Yeah.
fire her.
Yeah.
So she did a lot of damage also to my clients.
All right.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
can it can you see, how everything what we are
Yeah.
actually constructs a business that we have.
Yeah.
So for me, after this cancer episode became really clear, business is just a reflection of who
Mm-hmm.
you are.
Yeah.
So if you are procrastinating in your business. That just means that something inside yourself
Yeah.
is waiting, doesn't want that you progress.
Yeah.
So first, what I saw, what I experienced, that's working on myself. And actually, cancer was a liberation for me,
Right.
not a punishment.
Right.
Because when I outgrew the cancer,
Yeah.
everything, everything, I rebuilt everything,
Yeah.
my entire energetic system
Right.
inside and around me, my purpose, my mission, my body, my identity,
Yeah.
everything was became completely different.
Yeah.
And from this, I said, okay, if I renewed myself, then I use the same energetic principles also to renew my business.
Mm-hmm.
And then just magic
Mm-hmm.
happened, my business started to grow internationally, scaling almost effortlessly because I
Mm-hmm.
started to use really energetic principles
Mm-hmm.
to change myself, to change energy. And now also when something doesn't work in business,
Yeah.
what I do first, not what
Strategy. Yeah.
strategy, what
Yeah.
method, what
Yeah.
analysis, what
Yeah.
I need to do that I will be more successful. No, I sit down and check my energies and recalibrate my energies first,
Mm-hmm.
because energy creates business.
Yeah.
Strategy organizes business.
Ah, say it again.
Energy creates business,
Mm-hmm.
and strategy organizes business.
Yeah.
And what I figured out as well, business is not a strategy game.
Mm-hmm.
Business is an energy game first. No energy, no game.
Mm-hmm.
Or, in other words, quality of your energy determines quality of your business.
And if you don't know yourself internally, you're blind.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
hopefully, you don't need something like cancer to rock you of it. Mine was debt. My cancer is finances, is money. And that's where my freedom path has started to grow. And like you're saying, you start following those threads and you reveal so much more of the limitations, and I call it the life stickiness that you've accepted, the bullying, the insecurity, the limited belief, the not for me, the she can, I can't. And once you start to, I like to say, absorb and accept that. I'm not one to say eradicate, overcome, da-da, perfect. No, you love and you accept, and then you navigate with that. An example that comes to mind is, say somebody has a leg shorter than the other. They're just going to walk in a different step, but they're still going to walk with it rather than try to deny or fight against it. And that, so keep going with that, because obviously I'm completely captivated by you, and I know the listeners will too. And it gets tiring to hear mindset, mindset, mindset. But this is even in the supernatural world of living as a human. This is really character development, spiritual development of your great purpose and your role to play, big or small, in your impact for yourself and the people around you. And you guys, like Dr. Nea has very much demonstrated being a chain breaker in her family's story, being a woman who's going to come in and create a new future for the coming generations than the one that have lived before. And we can all have a small impact or a big impact on that in our own stories too. So keep going with us from that, because this is really, especially that delineation of energy drives business, strategy organizes. We're talking about the two systems that support each other, but which one is the leader?
You mentioned mindset.
Hmm.
We know from many research that were done, scientific research, that we use 3 to 7% of mind consciously.
Yeah,
So if you train your mind, that's only using 3 to
yeah,
7% mind consciously.
yeah,
So in unstable, in unpredictable situations, you don't use this 3 to 7%. So although if you are trained in using your mind, person reacts what is in subconscious.
yeah,
And we need to tap into this. And with cancer, actually gave me this really huge opportunity to figure out what was inside,
yeah.
what triggered me um, not to discharge this person,
Hmm.
to unemploy this person,
Hmm.
to say her ciao,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
cannot anymore work for me.
yeah.
And what attracts our clients because of our energy
Hmm.
that we emit. There are also different um, diagrams on internet,
Hmm.
what how emotions vibrate on different energy levels.
Hmm.
Mine, for example, before cancer, guilt, shame, anger, um,
Lack,
yeah, everything,
limited.
I
Yeah,
fear I already said,
yeah,
sadness,
yeah,
worry. So
yeah,
this is really low vibrating
yeah.
emotions, and I was attracting such clients, and that's why I needed always to convince them to put a lot
Right.
of my
Hmm.
energy that this is
Hmm.
something that is for you.
Hmm.
No,
Hmm.
after the cancer I released a lot of this guilt,
Hmm.
a lot of the low these low vibrating emotions
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
And you know, talking about 3 to 7% of mind, so 95% is running the show,
Yeah.
and everything is stored in your body. So
Yes.
whatever is going on in your body, whether this is like could be constipation, could be cholesterol or
Hmm.
high blood pressure or diabetes or migraines or whatever
Yeah.
disease that
Or like just
just
an ongoing ache somewhere in the
yeah,
body, like,
yes, yeah,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
exactly. And
Tiredness, like
yeah, and
any,
people just
yeah.
dismiss this, but
Hmm.
this is exactly the vibrancy or a frequency that limits you to be really successful in your business.
Hmm.
And symptoms are only messengers
Yeah,
that delivers you what is going on, that deliver you what is going on inside,
yeah,
what limitation
yeah.
is inside.
Like a baby
So
kicking, trying to send you a signal, but
yeah,
you're so caught up in pushing, in hustling, in performing.
yeah, in
From
performing,
from
yeah,
here, one of my
yeah,
origin coaches, she would say you're living from the neck up, just
yeah,
in the mind, and like you say, 3 to 7%,
that's
right?
right.
And so your body's screaming for attention, and particularly in North America, I'm in Canada, we just, take a pill, have a massage, deal with the surface, not the root. But the root is that spiritual, is that ancestral, is that energetic.
Exactly.
And Dr. Naya, we could spend a bit of time pulling out a description of like the energetic world so that the everyday woman can start to see where she can practice this in her daily life without being fancy or spending 8 years, trying to solve allergies and other ailments in this, but really being still and reflecting inwardly about things so that we can start to separate what we've learned with what we need to unlearn.
Yeah, this stillness is really crucial.
Mhm.
Recently, one lady asked me about how many books I read.
Mm.
I said, not so many,
Yeah,
because
great.
beside everything what I had on the body,
Yeah.
I was also dyslexic.
Uh,
So I had really difficulties to read. I was changing B, D, P,
mm,
and M and N, and I read the first letter, the last letter, and in the middle was just something because letters were like
right.
dancing around
Mm,
me, And my mother was a really good reader, so she couldn't understand. And yeah, I was spanked a lot for this not reading. But this was actually a good thing,
mm,
what I perceive now, because I sat a lot in silence
mm,
and I got the message. So the first, you don't need to go anywhere. You don't need to spend all this money for
yeah.
fancy pants or
Yeah.
t-shirts,
Yeah.
and go to I don't know for what expensive or profound retreats.
Yeah.
Sit at home.
Yeah.
Sit at home at least 20 minutes per day. Just sit.
Mm,
And usually with us Westerns, the mind goes,
mhm,
it's like a monkey, jumping
mhm,
around. Whenever you got caught or you catch mind jumping around, just focus on back on breathing.
mhm,
That's all what meditation is.
mhm,
Really calming down and focus on your, for example, heartbeat
mhm,
and breathing with this heartbeat. 4 inhalations with heartbeat and 4 exhalations with heartbeat. Or even better, 4 inhalations and then pause for 4 beats and then 8 beats exhalation and 4 beats pause again.
mhm.
And in these pauses, when you stop breathing, this is like an opening
Yeah.
for you to really receive message. Very simple, you don't need any fancy thing. Very, yeah, or
It it's it is that simple, and I want to make it very real for the listeners because this is something that I'm working on every day to slow
yeah,
down and make it safe to just be. And people
exactly.
talk about box breathing and alternate nostril and all different kinds of breathing, you know, the waterfall breathing they teach kids, whatever. What I find when I do this is that it's uncomfortable. So I'm going to name it and I'm going to say, yeah, it's hard, so called hard. But that is an indication of how wound I am and how necessary then it is to allow 3 minutes, 5 minutes. You can start small and increase over time in order to do it. Because I found when I started a few years ago, I could barely feel safe enough because my nervous system was so hyper to even do a cycle of 3 or 4. And even still at times, because I can work myself into a tizzy, it can be hard to do it for a cycle of 5. And I have to remind myself and sometimes put hands on body. It's okay.
It's safe.
Just be
Yeah.
here. It's
It's allowed to
safe.
feel, yes.
It's okay. And in those really imperfect and precious moments, I can feel my internal body getting bigger. I can feel spaciousness and groundedness coming. And I can feel my fire frenetic energy burning steady instead of, crazy and all over the place. And there is such a different way to lead yourself and to experience life, like you just feel big and open like a mountain or something. And it's not done in any type of beautiful, even at home, you guys, if you ever watch the videos of these, I was saying to Dr. Neja before, like I'm purposefully now not changing my background I want to keep it very much, this is what it is. I've got laundry on the bed, laundry in the closet, but this is my space. And it's how I choose to be in a moment that makes the difference. And no, it's not always perfect. And I allow for that too. That is safe too. Then I'm not fighting against it. And I can really sit in what is.
I very much relate with this, what you just said. And there is one very profound story
Mm,
when one man was sitting in a cave and meditating, isolated from other people, and got enlightened.
mm,
And then he was so happy that was enlightened and said, now I go in the world and spread this light to other people. And he got to the first village and children were screaming. And he continued, and when he was approaching the city, also many cars appeared on the roads. And
mm,
when he came to the city, it was really noisy
mm,
in the in that city, and people, crowds over there bumping in each other, uh, also shouting, around, naming. And he was just staring in this, and he couldn't handle this anymore.
mhm,
And he said, oh, no, I cannot stand this anymore. I need to go to my cave.
mhm,
And the teaching out of this is you are enlightened only if you can stay enlightened in
yes.
no matter what
Yeah.
circumstances. So you can
Yes.
sit in the middle of mess at
Yes.
home
Yes.
or in the job or
Yes.
wherever, just to calm down and to get a bigger picture.
Yes.
And then you get also insight information. um, I have 8 guides with me, 8 spiritual
Mm,
teachers that
mm,
always says to me, now this is the next step. When
mm,
I need to really calm down, they guide me, they
mhm,
show me.
mhm.
And this, you can do wherever you are.
Yeah.
You don't need a
Yeah.
special place
That's it.
at home. Then you can you can perceive how much enlightened you already are.
Try get
And
your
you
kid
can,
to school in the morning. You'll know if you're
yeah,
enlightened or not.
exactly, exactly. If you are calm, and you know how to handle situation, then you are probably in very good skin. But if you scream, you run, you are nervous, or that shows another degree of your life.
So let's talk
And
about the recovery around that, because there are times where I can be very grounded, and there are times where I'm crazy and reactive. And I find that it's the recovery and how I recognize myself when I'm dysregulated what I do about it, and how I get back to regulated. And this happened yesterday, getting my 7-year-old out of the house. It's Christmas break. I don't want to have to rush against time. And I became dysregulated. And then I had to work for about an hour to shake it off after.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
sometimes the recovery is faster or the escalation is less. But I came out of it, and then I wanted to keep telling the story. Oh, yeah, morning, blah, blah. But it lost its power as the day went on. And that was a sign to me of coming back into that place of, you know, peacefulness, regardless of circumstance, like you said.
Yes, yes, that's exactly what you say, you know. Sometimes it take a little longer, sometimes a
Hmm.
little less time.
Hmm.
But what I see, the longer than I do, like not in quantity of time per day,
Yeah.
but the longer I'm consistent
Yes.
in dedicating time each day
Yes.
to myself, preferably at the same time,
Hmm.
because then also your body knows,
Right.
now comes time for myself. So
Right.
consistency and
Hmm.
perseverance.
Hmm.
So you need to be really daily, and you can do at home. You
Yeah.
don't need to go
Yeah.
anywhere. At
Yeah.
home, uh, like wake up 10 minutes before
Hmm.
and have these 10 minutes just for yourself.
Yeah, that
And
builds
here,
the strategy, the support system for your
yeah,
body, because your body is
yeah,
like an animal just running out there in the wild, in survival mode. But your spirit, your energy
yeah,
gets to lead that identity and anchor it in. Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And here, what I see with my clients, community is very important.
Hmm.
Um, Sometimes it's really challenging for a person to be really this, every single day
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
consistent and dedicated. But if you are in community where people are doing the same,
Hmm.
then they also support in some unconscious level. We are all supported, and if, for example, we are 20 of us,
Hmm.
and if one is not doing, also others are supporting this one, and
Yeah.
hey, come on,
Yeah.
we are doing now, let's go together. So what I see, really supportive system. And this was one of the very important things also in my recovery of cancer and growing, having a community. So if you want to go fast, go alone. And
Hmm.
if you want to go long distance,
Hmm.
then go with a group.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then go together, because they for my diagnosis, only 6 people, 7 people knew,
Wow.
and those all 7 people were 100%
Hmm.
sure that I'm going to outgrow cancer.
Wow. So that
So this
helped you,
is,
right? That
yeah,
helped
they
you get
help me,
there.
because
Yeah.
there are, as you said, there are days when we are
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
And if somebody demonstrates on Facebook or Instagram or I don't know where,
Hmm.
that they are all the time, every
Hmm.
single day,
Hmm.
okay, they
Hmm.
are lying.
Yeah. Unfollow them. Go
Yeah,
find someone
yeah,
real.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
follow somebody
Yeah.
real. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But people usually ask me, Naya, how did you have so much energy and you are
Hmm.
always calm?
Hmm.
No, I'm not always calm,
Thank you.
but
Yes.
I have every single day time
Hmm.
for myself where I allow all my emotions to come out in whatever form.
Hmm.
I also, if it's overwhelming, I also scream, I also punch, I
Yeah.
have a bunch of pillows around me
Yeah.
and I cry.
Yeah.
And I express everything in this safe environment. And then when I go out, yes, I'm already regulated.
Yeah.
So I don't need anymore. So I can do business.
Hmm. Yeah.
I can bring calmness
Yeah.
because I have my place and space
Hmm.
and time for myself every single day.
Yeah. Yes. This is, you guys, our feelings can consume us,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And they do need to be expressed. And pardon me, Dr. Nea, but I have a adolescent sense of humor. And so I call them emotional farts, where
Yeah,
you
yeah,
must
yeah, yeah,
release
yeah,
them.
yeah.
You must release them and make it safe to do so,
Exactly.
as you
Yeah.
beautifully described, without getting so attached to them that you can't put them down after. This
Mm.
is, if you guys haven't picked up on it, regulation versus dysregulation, and living in harmony with both and navigating both, and always aiming to come back to a more regulated state. Yeah. I mean, now we're coming up on the top of the hour, and I feel like we've just barely uncovered what you and I could talk about in perpetuity. A very rich conversation. Dr. Nea, is there anything else that you want to share about your story or perhaps your business before we part ways for the day?
I just want to add something because I really liked what you said,
Mm.
that there is really amazing song.
Ah,
It was written by Fia, Fia.
yeah.
It's called Shedding Skins.
Mm.
And she talks in this song that we need to accept light and shadows in ourselves.
Mhm.
Listen to it because it's
Mhm.
really, when I first time heard this song, it really resonated with me. And
Mhm.
what I help also people to um, accept themselves and outgrow. It's not just accepting and again doing the same thing over
Right.
and over and over
Okay.
and over again.
Fine. Yeah.
Because accepting doesn't mean that you need to repeat things,
Yeah.
but accepting means just uh, not being angry with yourself when you do something wrong.
Yeah.
But of course, there is always room for improvement.
Improvement. Yeah.
I consider my lower self like a child. We
Hmm.
always talk about inner child.
Hmm.
And this inner child, has outbursts
Hmm.
and calm down. And with my higher awareness, I teach my lower self, like inner child, how to act, how to um, um, how to do better in the world.
Yeah.
So this is how I help also people to do. And there are plenty, of course, of tools how
Yeah.
to come into your to your inner child, to
Hmm.
sense what is going on, and how to connect with your um, higher or inner
Yeah.
essence so that you get message.
Yeah.
And of course, I have one very small gift, not
Yeah.
small, could be huge if you start to practice it.
Yeah.
And you can find this gift. This is 7 steps
Hmm.
ebook, seven
Hmm.
steps, energetic alignment in action. This
Hmm.
is initiation and energy practices for initiation in every single morning. I do it, I practice it every single morning
Hmm.
to really start my day in my highest potential.
Right.
I use my energy for highest good,
Yeah.
not just for myself, also for others.
Yeah.
So, and you can find this book on highfrequencyenergyformula.com. So, high
Mhm.
frequency energy formula.com, because here you have formula that you can reach to the top frequency emotions.
Right.
High frequency energy formula.com. It's written all together,
Okay,
packed.
perfect. Yeah, we'll put that in the show notes. And I'm going to
Ex-
download that and play with it too. And like, this practice of starting your day from an empowered, regulated
Exactly.
state.
Exactly. That's
So
it.
simple. So
Yeah.
simple. Beautiful. Dr. Naya, I'm just so turned on, activated from this conversation. It was so, so rich. Thank you for speaking with me and my audience today.
Thank you to you and to your audience.
Wow, you guys, that was everything that I love and believe in and find valuable. And Dr. Naya, this was a podcast episode that got rescheduled a bunch of times. And you just have to trust that timing and not let it mean anything because it was worth the outcome of that conversation. So, in closing, my darlings, please really believe, I'll believe it for you until you believe it for yourself, that your next version already lives inside you. She is one decision, one system, one brave moment and choice inside you, waiting to take up more space. And if this conversation today stirred something in your spirit, don't let it pass. There are two ways to continue to feed that activation in you in my world, in Powerful Inc. One is the Startup Club, where we meet the ambitious everyday woman in community, in clarity, and in these very small yet highly faithful steps forward. It's a monthly membership meeting on Sunday mornings to come together, to build, to believe, to solve, to grow without overwhelm, and to grow in community. There's support, strategy, and a beautiful circle of women in the Startup Club. Links are in the show notes. The other is the Everyday Woman Awakening, a 6-week program to activate these next levels of energy in yourself, to discover more of who you are and open the portal that then will lead, yes, of course, to longer programs with me or other coaches, but to start that activation, to start that awakening and continue to anchor it into you. And so I'm going to be running 2 cohorts a week. There's a Wednesday morning and a Friday morning. I'm finishing the first one right now. We're going to start again in January. So we're going to have January, and every other month, these cohorts are going to run for the Everyday Woman Awakening. And you're going to start to really implement so much of what Dr. Naya and I talked about today and so much more. So I'm so excited for you. I see you. I honor you. I'm living in the same world as you, sister. All right. So the links for these courses are here. The song and the freebie from Dr. Naya are in here. Soak it up, saturate, and give yourself time for this deep soul care. I love you so much. And I'll see you in the next episode. Episode 100, you guys. We did it within 2025. So beautiful. Have an amazing rest of your day. I love you. See you soon.